If you look at the live real-time UK energy statistics right now on a very windy day in the UK, you will find that out of a total of 40,882 megawatts that the UK is using at the present moment, only 3,312 megawatts are coming from renewable sources. Renewable sources, of course, include hydropower, all the different renewables, but mostly from the rash of gigantic wind turbines that are emerging all over Britain from one end to the other. Now, right now, there are 4,500 giant turbines installed and working in Britain. And yet here they are on a windy day, producing only 8% of our electricity requirements. But the cost of installing these 4,500 turbines was over £7 billion, or indeed about almost 12 billion US dollars. Now, is that a sensible way forward? I understand that in its 15 to 20 year lifetime, when a giant turbine is producing electricity, it will earn for the energy company about £13 million, $20 million. Half of that comes from the actual electricity that it produces, but the other half comes in subsidies directly paid by the consumer. And that's why electricity bills across the UK are rocketing. But also, these turbines are so useless that even when it's a windy day and they're producing only 8% of the energy requirements we need, when there's no wind at all, they're not working, and then you have to rely on coal, gas or nuclear. In Scotland, we're not going to be allowed to have any new nuclear, so we're going to have to be addicted to burning more fossil fuels as a necessary backup for when the wind isn't blowing. Now, sadly, we've just had information that there's going to be a giant wind farm built overlooking Loch Ness, one of the most iconic and beautiful landscapes known worldwide in Scotland. And yet we're going to desecrate it with giant wind turbines, despite experts saying that this should never be allowed to happen. The same thing is happening in the village of Struan in South Ayrshire, where plans are now afoot for the new Lynfern wind turbine farm, one of 5, which will surround the beautiful village of Struan with a ring of steel. And the same at Kilgalleach in South Ayrshire, which is going to 5 kilometres south of Bower Hill, see 96 giant turbines built on deep peatland. Now, all of these projects are going to be built on peatland, and when you dig up peatland to build access roads and put in foundations, you're releasing millions of tons of CO2 that was naturally stored into the environment. So now we are seeing a global movement against wind turbines emerging right around the world. Across in North America, we've got the North American Platform Against Wind Power, we've got Master Resource, National Wind Watch, Windwise Radio, all working closely and cooperating with me in our attack and campaign globally against wind power. In the UK, we have the organisation called No Wind, we have Scotland Against Spin, the John Muir Trust, and the great work of Angela Kelly from Country Guardian, who keeps circulating all the information to all the campaigners on the latest news releases on wind turbine issues. So all these people globally, the hundreds of thousands, the millions of people who see what a nonsense this energy policy is, must unite to make it stop. And I've published a book which has become a bit of a handbook for campaigners, and it's called So Much Wind, The Myth of Green Energy. And I would strongly advise anyone who wishes to dip into this and use bits of it in their campaigns, feel free to do so.